Welcome to the UMBC Coaches Corner. I'm your host, Steve Levy. Once again, thrilled to be back here in the UMBC TV studio as all the students in the Media and Communication Studies class 395 are running the whole show here, making us look good. And we really thank the students and Bill Shoebridge for all they've done throughout the entire year here for the Coaches Corner. We're also very thrilled to be joined by head baseball coach Bob Muma. And Bob, probably been a long time since you've been in this studio. You said maybe when you were a freshman athlete here, maybe you were interviewed in this studio.
Yeah, I think we were talking before the show and said, didn't remember where the building was or exactly what it was, but I think you had a little TV show we had going on just a few years ago when I was a student athlete here.
Just a few years
ago. Just a few years ago, not too many, exactly.
Well, we have come full circle. Back then, no media communication studies major. Right. Now you see all these students that are getting great experience and really helping us out with this program. Bob, talk about growing up for you. Was it always baseball for you, or were there other sports that you played in? Obviously, for those that don't know, a Hall of Fame career here at UMBC. Played professionally for several years. Was it always baseball, or were there other sports involved growing up?
There were other sports involved. I think back when I was playing, that was just the norm. I played baseball was the first thing I did, starting around 5, 6, 7 years old, and loved every minute of it. But I was doing anything I could do with the ball and throwing it. Played basketball in high school, played football in high school, played baseball. But I loved those other sports. But baseball was always just loved it more than the rest of them.
Now, talk about the transition from a player to coaching. When did the coaching bug kind of bite you, and you knew that this is maybe something you wanted to do for the rest of your career?
Yeah, I think even when I was a player, particularly in college, I always enjoyed working the camps, working with kids, doing some instruction. My dad was a teacher, so I think that was always a little bit my background. And I kind of always knew, the first goal was the baseball career and the pro career, but kind of always had a sense if that didn't work out that I wanted to get back into coaching, and really had a sense I wanted to be at college, not at the high school level, professional level, but right. I really thought the college would be well suited for me, and I was lucky enough to get an opportunity here some 15, 16, 17 years ago.
You're in your fourth year as the head coach. Talk about this year's team. I think when fans see this program, will probably be a little close to the end of the month of April.
Right.
But you still have a lot of games left after that. Yeah. But have gotten off to a very solid start in America East play. The team is over 500 overall right now. Kind of give us an assessment of how kind of your first half of the season has gone.
Yeah, obviously weather challenge in the beginning would never have not been easy for anybody. Sure. But this is a very good, exciting team. I think we finally have a good blend of upperclassmen and some juniors and seniors that have had a lot of experience. There's nothing that can surprise that group anymore. Have some very solid arms that we can run out there on the weekends. And we're very competitive against anyone we play, and I think you've seen that. This has been the best team I think we've had over the last certainly since I've been as the head coach here, and off to a great start.
I think people don't realize the challenges the weather really gave the baseball and softball and all the spring sports, really. But baseball and softball, you're on a grass and dirt field. The conditions aren't conducive. You can't shovel off a dirt field like that. What kind of challenges did it present for you guys the whole month of February, and really even into the good part of March, where you guys weren't out as much as you wanted to be?
Yeah, and I think the big challenge is obviously we start off indoors. I mean, baseball is not an indoor sport, and we're trying to get as best prepared to go outside as we can. And I think for the kids, just it's a sport you really want to get a lot of reps in. You want to do it every day. It's a routine, and we really couldn't do that. We didn't play our first weekend. The second weekend we were supposed to be home, and then we were supposed to be in North Carolina, and we ended up playing in Charleston, and then you're back in the gym, and it was really hard for kids to get into that routine. And I give the kids a lot of credit. They showed up every day, no matter where we had to go, where we played, and they came to try to get better every day. And it's a really credit to the group of young men we got playing for us.
Bob, we started kind of the discussion about you growing up, but talk about advice you would give to parents of kids, maybe like the ages of 8 to 13. I know, so many parents now are focused on, boy, I got to get my son or daughter that college scholarship. And, would you, if you had someone a young man, a young boy that was really interested in baseball, maybe was a really good player, is that something you would encourage him to focus strictly on baseball? Or would you say, you know what, play other sports, do other things. Don't be so focused on this particular thing until maybe you get into your teens and then kind of see where things go.
For me, I think there's no doubt. I think the more sports the kids can play, I think that's just a great thing for them. And I would tell parents, let your kids have fun. Let them be a kid. You know, they're going to be an 18-year-old soon enough, and if they're good enough to go to college, they'll get that opportunity. But go play other sports. You may find out that you like soccer better, or lacrosse better, or basketball better. But you know, go play them all. Let them enjoy being a kid. Do different things, and you know, not the pressure to win. And if they really love it like I did, and you want to maybe have a few extra lessons or a few things like that in a couple sports, I think that's great. But I think the more sports kids can play, the better athletes they become. In fact, you mentioned, I was listening to Buck Showalter was talking with the Orioles manager before he breaks spring training. He said, you'd be surprised, all these guys in the big leagues, they're all multi-sport stars. They weren't just baseball players. And I think you talk to a lot of pro athletes or really good college players, very few of them were just one sport stars from day one when they started playing sports.
Now, I know you want all your players to play the game right, but you know, if you do have those young kids that come to some of your camps, maybe they come to some of the games at Alumni Field. If they are to emulate a couple guys on your team that really play the quote is play the game right, who might they be and why? What kind of qualities, characteristics they have that they play the game right?
I think from a position player standpoint, two guys jump out right away. Mark Esposito, Vinny Corby, both are seniors, but they show up every day and they try to get better every day. And from a position player standpoint, and this is maybe a little bit of a change of culture thing where we figure we'd be pretty good in a couple of years. We see those guys coming out. They're working on all areas of the game. They're not just going in the cage and swinging and trying to hit home runs. They're out working on their defense. They're doing glove work. They're trying to throw better, just trying to become an all-around better ball player. And we see the same thing. I'd even put maybe a Dennis Mikic on the mound pitching, where he wants to work on every part of his game. Whether it's controlling the running game, it's not just about the pitches he's throwing, but all the small things that you have to do to win championships. You're very rarely in the college game where most teams are pretty equal. It's not one team that's out slugging someone else. Usually you've got to go out there and play the game and be real fundamentally sound. But they come out and watch a practice or watch a pregame. I think our kids go about their business very well.
Well, Bob, certainly we appreciate the visit here today. I know you got a long season left, almost half the games left.
15 conference games left, and about 22 left so far. So we got a half a season to go.
Long way to go. Best of luck the rest of the way. Hopefully, we're talking about being in the American East Championships come mid to late May.
Great. Sounds good to me.
Once again, you got plenty of opportunities to catch the UMBC baseball team. Again, they're playing through the middle of May at Alumni Field. Really, it's an enjoyable experience to get down there, catch the action of a baseball game, and support the Retrievers. To get all the information on Retriever baseball, log on to UMBC's website at umbcretrievers.com. For the UMBC Coaches Corner, I'm Steve Levy.